Welcome everyone to Monday evening Reiki. It has been a hot minute. It's been a while since we've been on. So for those of you just joining, welcome. Welcome to the vibes. We're just here to chill out, find a little bit of calm, find a little bit of quiet. Good evening, Sue. Hi, Sergio. So we're just here to chill out a little bit. For those of you unfamiliar with Reiki, Reiki is an energy healing modality. We connect to source energy to provide a balance for mind, body, and soul. So if you would like to experience the energy, you just have to be open to receive. So that's to say you just need to acknowledge it's something that you would like to be experiencing. You don't need to if you don't want to. You're welcome to just hang out and listen to the chit chats if you prefer. But all energies are channeled in your highest good. So only good vibes here. Hi, Mel. So I hope you're all doing well. I haven't been on for quite a long time. Oh, it's okay. Sergio, that's relatable. Relatable. I'm the queen of the low phone battery. I'm actually charging mine as I'm live. So my name is Salome, for those of you who are not familiar with me. I practice Holy Fire Reiki as well as Karuna Reiki and Animal Reiki. Happy to have you. Yes. Hello, Jasminder. Let me know if you need me to turn up the volume of the music. I feel like it's a bit quiet. Maybe a tiny bit. Ayarata como koroto shigara no moarati asaro koroto no motir iesene kiesta no mak iarata maki. Makaratia naurist ayana no mokoroto sa ayana no mokarati ashata ayana no mokorti seuritinati ashmut. Atayarata nikia nasha no mokosia no mokono tira mokori. Soyere tokomasi aratosto mokonitie shetia. Hi, Steph. Atayere te kinki esiere te shtayere no mokorosumata. Ayasama kwashe nikie. Hi, Jonathan. Hi. Ete inki ireshi irete mokoreta yena moreta shto yena mokorosureta mokoneti yena mokosia to moko. Kusuana shoto yena mokorisia te yena mokorete shmo. How are you? Good evening. Sora to moko so te amo kain ko yesh mo kunko siara to kumkordi eti amor to shate yemeketi. Sora te kiene kishiore to kumkorsutu yena moar ti jano kumoako. Ooh. Lots going on in the heart and the solar plexus today. Eatanko eratamkoa. Yeah. It's been a tough week for a lot of us, I feel. Last week was a weird week. Hi, Jennifer. Is your baby sick? Well, if they want to receive some of the Reiki healing, hopefully that will help give them a bit of a kickstart. Good evening. Welcome. So we're working a little bit on the heart and the solar plexus right now because it feels like there's a lot going on in there today. Stuck in the USA. Cams, because you're from, are you from Australia originally? Or maybe I'm thinking of a different person. Ooh. Ontario. Thank you, Chance. Wow. Oh. Saira tako mokurushutu iran mukaratie emuaratikia koratu nakutu iran moti. Ewerete irata morasia koratu shuratu muate kate kate kate. Wasura shinere te mekia sungushatu yanamokurin. Thank you for the follow. And take a moment to ground this energy, because it feels very heady. So we're going to bring this energy down to earth. Hello. Energy is everywhere. Everything is made of energy. That's just physics. Hi, Kim. Thank you. Asorashtaini kierashta adol mukuritinya rasumuk eanamatinikia. Asurashtani kiana suratananikiamatea. So we're allowing this energy to come down. And if you're a visual person, you can visualize, if you like, beautiful roots growing out the base of your feet and anchoring you into the earth. Creating a stable channel, right? That's what we're doing. We're creating a stable channel so that the energy can flow in an unobstructed way, in a way that's natural and flowing, where we feel serene, we feel grounded. We still feel energized, right? We're still feeling energized. It's a very subtle feeling. It's this beautiful harmony between the active and the receptive. Because by creating roots, by allowing yourself to ground, you're allowing that energy to have an outlet. So we're able to channel the energy from our crown and allow it to flow through our body and come out our feet to create a beautiful cycle so that our energy doesn't get stuck. Oftentimes, if we're not grounded, our energy can build up and get stuck in our upper chakras because there's nowhere for it to go. And so that buildup can cause feelings of anxiety, of discomfort, of confusion. So allowing you to breathe and ground yourself is a really powerful practice for you to allow that energy to have somewhere to go, right? Hello, Sarah. Oh, that's very flattering. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been live for quite a while. I had a very, very busy month. And so I took a bit of a TikTok break. Oh, thank you. Pardon me. Yeah, I just haven't been on for a bit. But I'm here today. Yeah, it can be a lot sometimes. It's really important to take moments to take a step back, no matter what it is that you do, to recharge. Because there gets a point where if you push yourself, you're not really giving what it is that you'd like to give anyway. You can only give from a full cup. So really, when we're giving, we want to give our overflow, right? We need to make sure that our cup is full. Make sure that our cup is full, and then is the overflow that we're able to provide to others. Because if you're giving out of a cup that isn't fully full, then you end up depleting yourself and you're not really doing anyone any service. So koyerato como koroshe tiena mora tiena korosuto inia. Korata yera na mota yera sata yeni kiesha teni mia tera sana korata no korosut inia. Oh, you're caring for your mom. Sending you love, Sarah. Yeah, energy hygiene is really important, right? Just like our bodies need sleep, right? Our bodies also need to take breaks from the stimulation of social media, from the going. We have to have these periods of pause. It's really good to take a moment to step back and just focus on nourishing yourself, nourishing your soul, right? Making sure that you feed your spirit in whatever way it is that feels right for you. For me, it's going in the forest, creating music to a degree. We don't have to be on all the time, right? Yeah. Hola. Let's see. Krete ni kiesha te irata suna te namota ni kiana nata shato irata como cortiana. Atuira toko moko suta na suara te ni kia moko shota yamata. For those of us who are kind of go all the time, it's also a reminder to breathe. Very often, we don't realize that we are just holding our breath for a very long time. And it's not until you consciously take a really deep breath do you realize that you haven't really been breathing, not properly. And the power of oxygen is quite remarkable. Hola. Etera taka or iranamura tina kosira jushtina. Hi, Craig. Era tekia asha nanti iranamukone tina kosira takomakas. Se eneme ta enamara sanati arata kortonu dia. Ate irete kinkie siera shata yenam korenite. Akai nekiango sauru tushunti yenamarti. Ete irete kiene ke shata yenanam konati namasi. Arata inquieta sharata konkursia tumati. Wasienata shina mashina shiate. Ekoroto soirata namokore nikiam. Siam kasiam kasiam kasiam. Ataina mokoshiam. Good luck. I'm doing well, Craig. How are you? Ni hao. Ayura sota inikiasu oma. I love this community. It's so supportive. Ayete ekin kietaya mkonko. Arata irata kashon. Ayete inikina kananitiana makasiako. Ahora saitiana masuto yaratan kotoshatoya. It's very specific. 3. Better than 6. It's true. My new look. I don't know if I've changed a lot. I'm always jumping around. New boyfriend. No. No. Just living life. It's the winter time still. Can't wear all the frilly stuff. God, I wish, Craig. Honestly. I'm a solo banana. I would love to get a dog, though. Dog would be nice. I had to find a new roommate at the end of the month, which is part of the reason why I haven't been around. It's been very chaotic. And there was someone I was very excited to meet because they had a dog, but it didn't work out. So I don't have a dog, but I want a dog. I do still have a cat, though. I do have a cat. Barbara. Barbara Gordon. Oh, Batman kitty. What's Barbara doing? That's a great question. Probably bothering people for food. I'm very jealous of your German Shepherd puppy, Craig. I would love to have a little puppy. I want a husky. I grew up with huskies when I was little, and I love them. I love huskies. They're so funny. So much personality. Your three cats are your world. No, that's not how my name is pronounced. Heather. My name is pronounced Salome. For those of you who don't know, Salome. Thank you. Bye, Craig. Have a great rest of your shift. Thanks for popping in. Oh, I know. Huskies get into trouble. But I love them anyway. You just need to have the right environment. The energy has been crazy. Hi, Yoas. How are you? Well, you've come to the right place. I work a lot with of the energy of Gaia, and I work very intimately with the energy of the Tree of Life. Fair enough. I still love them though. I love me a husky puppy. But yeah, for those of you who need grounding, a really beautiful way to ground is to just visualize roots growing out of your feet, growing out of your root and into the earth below. You can also just focus on your breathing and focus on your breath coming down. Oh dear. Oh, thank you, Mike. Oof. How do you know if you need grounding? That's not a stupid question. That's actually a really great question. How do you know if you need grounding? If you feel yourself to be very agitated or anxious or kind of scattered, if you feel scattered, if you have troubles slowing down your mind, if you have shallow breathing, these can all indicate maybe you need to ground. Grounding is a really beautiful way of just slowing our energy down, of just slowing us down, making us feel secure, making us feel stable, making us feel anchored, right? If you feel that you easily get pulled in one direction or another, right, it's because you aren't rooted. You don't have a pillar that is securely on the earth. So grounding is a really important way of kind of giving you that just firmness, right? And once you feel grounded, once you feel anchored and secure, it's a lot easier for you to be able to slow down so that you can really understand where it is that you want to go or what you want to choose. It allows you clarity, because what often happens when we are ungrounded, the energy and the thoughts, everything that's going on up here in the higher spheres, right? Everything happening in your brain, all the emotions, everything. They just build up and build up and build up and build up and build up. And so you end up having a build up in this just big mess up here. And it's really hard to discern, the different aspects that you need to focus on. Whether you're getting insight from spirit, whether or not it's your ego, all of the different things that you need to do. It's kind of, if you imagine string, right? Let's imagine you have a whole bunch of string up here. And when the string has just this tiny little space, it looks all tangled and jumbled and knotted together. So what we want to do is we want to bring that string out. We want to give it more space so that we have more space to work with it, so that you can start pulling that string apart. You can start unknotting those knots. And when you have more space, you're able to lay it out. You're able to more clearly see all of the individual things that are going on, instead of having this mess all kind of bunched together. And that's the same thing with our energy. If our energy has nowhere to go, if our energy is stuck up here because we don't have an anchor into the earth, then we very quickly end up getting overwhelmed. We get overwhelmed because there's so much going on up here that it ends up creating this big mess. And we can't really, pick one thing out from the other. So grounding your energy allows you that space so that you can start seeing these individual parts, decide what it is that you want to focus on versus what it is that you can put aside for a while. Hi, Denise. I mean, grounding is not trapping, right? I mean, how you interpret it is up to you. How you visualize it is up to you. Ultimately, grounding isn't kind of a trap where it's preventing you to go anywhere. It's allowing you to not float away. Right? You can still have the freedom to choose and the freedom to do all of these different things, but you do it from a place of stoicism. And you do it from a place of certainty and trust within yourself. And you do it from a place of clarity, right? Yeah. Because ultimately, we are beings of the earth, right? We're spiritual beings, but we're also physical beings. And so that's how we embody both. We have our connection to spirit up here, but we still need to keep our feet on the ground. We're still living our life on the ground. So when you're grounded, you're able to bring all of this insight from up here, all of this beautiful wisdom and inspiration that you have from your connection to your spirit, from your connection to source, the divine, whatever it is that you want to identify it as, your higher connection, your spirit connection. Being grounded allows you to bring that down to earth. It allows you to channel that into this physical realm. And that's a really important thing. Because if you're always floating away, you end up being disconnected from your body. You end up being disconnected from the things that are happening around you. We're looking for connection. We're looking for harmony and balance. And remember, we get energy from source, we get energy from spirit in the sky, but we also have the beautiful energy of Mother Earth. Gaia has her own incredible, beautiful energy to provide us that we share with her, right? There's actually, I've heard and read that there actually is an effect of plants and trees going out into nature, how it balances the electrical charges of our body. Going out into nature is a beautiful way to ground because you're immediately allowing your energy to be harmonized and balanced the charges to be neutralized, right? So we're not always buzzing. We're allowed to calm down, slow down. Yeah. And connecting to just the elements too is, it's raining right now. People ground in different ways. Find connecting with some aspect of nature is really helpful. Some people love water, taking a bath, listening to the rain can be very soothing and calming. Listening to the wind for some, or thunder, can be very soothing and calming. Feeling the sun on your face. Hi. Oh, you're very welcome, Chuko. Welcome to the live. I don't think I've seen you before. Namaste. Fungi are so cool. Just like looking at mycelic structures, and just like the whole network, nature is incredible. The way that trees communicate with each other through their root systems that can expand for kilometers, right? Yeah, I haven't been going live as often as I used to. But there's a lot of parallels between human life and the natural world around us. Trees communicating are so cool. But also, like, mushrooms do the same thing. There's a lot of different systems that communicate with each other in very intricate ways. Yeah, that was the last time I went on live. You know, with trees, if there's a diseased tree, it kind of communicates with the other trees and they exchange nutrients through the roots. The fungi kingdom is vast. Fungi are just absolutely magnificent. Whenever I go on hikes with my mountain wife, my friend Alicia, who I do overnight hikes with, my camera ends up being just full of just different mushrooms. My little obsession is taking photos of different mushroom structures. You were a haughty skeptic. Now you're not so sure. Welcome to the live. You know, really, I didn't know that, Daniel. That's actually really cool. Fungi rely on lunar energy rather than solar energy. That's so fascinating. Is that a mushroom lamp behind me? No. Oh, is this what you're talking about? This is just a little, it's not a lamp. It's just a little figurine that I've had ever since I was a baby. I don't even know where it came from. I think it's cute. I like it. A lot of the stuff here, I think these were my baby brother's all-stars. He's 31 now. He turned 31 over the weekend. And I think these ones were mine. These are my baby shoes. So now you have a little insight to my childhood. Baby shoes. Yeah, it's cool. Wooden geisha, yeah. Oh, I've never gone mushroom hunting. I have to be very careful. Is my brother spiritual? No, I'm the only spiritual one in my family. I'm a spiritual baby. My brothers are both very pragmatic, left-brained people, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, my brothers think I'm a little bit weird sometimes, but that's okay. They've come to accept me in my own way. They don't really question it anymore. They just tolerate it. Yeah, exactly. You know, everyone is at a different point in their journey, and we have to remember, right? For most of us who are spiritual, there was a point where we probably weren't. I know I wasn't for quite a while. And it just kind of gradually started falling into my path. I've always had a curiosity, always had, ever since I was very young, a deep-seated curiosity in myth and kind of wondering how the universe worked and contemplating the concept of God or what that even meant and all of these stories. And I was very interested in a lot of different things growing up around magic and all of that kind of stuff. And I kind of forgot. And I became a little bit skeptical, or I became, very focused on, you know, being rational and being discerning, which is very important still, right? We have to remember that science is important. Being able to use our physical senses is very important still, right? There's a lot of value to that in weighing out the pros and cons of allowing yourself to gather information before making a decision, of being critical, right? Being critical is so important. And what's beautiful about spirituality is that there's more information that you have available to you to make those critical decisions now, right? There's a whole other world that we have access to be able to make those critical decisions. It's not saying that one thing is better than the other. It's saying that they work together to create a bigger picture, and a picture that is more developed and that is more detailed and that is more informative. Science is endless and amazing. Everything is endless and amazing. If you think about it, like, science is magic in its own way. We're discovering things constantly, you know. Hi, Tony. I love that, Colin. That's such a beautiful statement. God, if love, knowing yourself as having God consciousness. Absolutely. We are part of the universe and we are the universe itself. We are creation. We are creators. We are everything. I don't want to get into that topic. That's okay. Everyone has their own journey, Heather. Cienza. And that's why I love the concept, the term inspiration too, right? In spiritus. Inspiration, in spiritus, in spirit. We are breathing in, we inspire. The word inspiration in French is inspiration. Inspiration is at once being inspired in the terms of thought, of having that awakening to creativity. But inspiration is also inhalation. So there's this beautiful parallel between the breath, the act of breathing, but also the act of being connected to spirit in a way where we create. Spirit means breath in Latin. Absolutely. Air, breath. So important. That's why it's so important to remind yourself to breathe, to consciously breathe, really experience what that feels like to you. You can breathe in so many different ways. You can even focus on where you're sending that energy. There's this really subtle shift that you may notice if you take the time to actually consciously pay attention to how it feels to bring oxygen in your body. Feeling the shift physically in your body. When I breathe in, I feel these tingles that just flow through. And that it's almost like I can direct my energy through my cardiovascular system, through my muscles, through my tissues. There's this aliveness, right? There's this aliveness that becomes very present. Oh, I love that, Daniel. Conspire to breathe together. Yeah, absolutely. I love looking at the root of words. Like when you really take the time to look at language and the way that language is formed, there's a lot of magic there as well. There's so much meaning. There's so much meaning in everything that we say that we're not even aware of. Because oftentimes we're just talking. We're talking without really reflecting on what it is that we're saying. Right? There's this disconnect. And that's why spell work, when people talk about spell work, we're looking at the word spelling, right? Spell work as being a magic thing. And the reason why it's a magic thing is because it's intentional. Because there's an intention behind the words that you speak. The words that you speak are incredibly powerful in creating your world, in evoking an energy, and invoking an energy, right? We're invoking by the things that we say, but the things that we say with consciousness, right? The things that we say with an intention. And when you start really intentionally speaking, you start paying closer attention to the specific words that you use to express yourself. We have thousands and thousands of different words for a reason. They're all subtly different, right? We have a lot of synonyms that may be similar, may express kind of similarly maybe the gist of something, but they are still unique, specific words that are very precise. And reconnecting to the precision of what it is that you say will be incredibly powerful in what it is that you evoke into the world, the way that you connect with people, the way that you communicate, and the way that you interact. Because it's all spelling. It's all magic with voice. Mm-hmm. And that's why music also is so beautiful and important, right? Music is another way of expressing magic. It's using sound. The power of sound, the power of syllables. There's a lot of things that we communicate in different ways. And for those of you who are not familiar with light language, or for those of you who have recently been listening to light language, right, at first it seems affronting for many, right, because it is very different. It's very different, and it's unfamiliar, but it's still familiar, right? There's an unfamiliar aspect or an unfamiliarity on the cognitive level, right? It's not something that we can understand on the level of the mind, but there's a familiarity in it in the way that it feels in our souls. Many people resonate with it in an energetic way or in an emotional way. And so it's another thing to kind of consider, right, is how there are a lot of different levels in the way that words and speech and voice and music act and heal and inspire. Yeah. Tone. We can get into the topic of solfeggio frequencies. The energetic frequency of different notes on the scale, different, sound waves. You can look at the art of sound. How a lot of these temples all over the world, the architecture is inspired by the way that vibration shapes the earth, right? The patterns in sound vibration. There's a massive rabbit hole you can fall down. It's fascinating. It's fascinating stuff. There's so much wisdom, so much knowledge there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Asa iratanakiam korotania orasun. te iretikia nasa iratana korotona sura. Masiana shutinama yete. Siaka uratania suratana kurashtanie. Welcome. Okay, I'll look into that. Ekienkia suanatiananato. Akoroto sierata shatani temortini kiara sautu. Akoroto sayete inko surata sayete mekiene shetena tari inyara sahura. Amafiarani kiara sana koratea nakosu. Atairatanikia. See you later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. The same thing in Spanish, encantada. No, why doesn't it autoplay? It doesn't autoplay music anymore. It's a bit loud. Yeah. Also have bamboo here. Bamboo. Yeah. So many words. So many words to look at. Oops, sorry. Thank you for the roses. Oh, those are so pretty. Thank you, Sue. Thank you. Oh. Hello, Candace. Music is soothing. Spirit work. What do you mean? What types of spirit work? Oh, you're welcome. I mean, I don't consciously channel spirits. When I practice Reiki, I have different energies come in. If I do a Reiki session on someone, it happens sometimes that a little bit of mediumship ends up being involved. It's not like a conscious thing that I do. But there are spirits that present themselves either to help in the healing or to provide insight in some way or reassurance in some way. And I do connect with divine beings. I have a really strong connection with Yeshua. I have a strong connection with certain other deities. And then I have my connection with, the different energies that are part of me. I connect very deeply with the Fae, for example. Kind of like the elven fairy realm. Hi, Jeff. So any kind of mediumship that happens is not, purposeful necessarily. I may sometimes call in on my spirit team to provide me with some insight or support. But yeah, so, it's kind of what happens. But I always find it interesting when they make themselves known. Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, I connect very deeply with the Fae. Beautiful, beautiful creatures. As long as you respect them, right? You always have to respect the Fae. Can't just do anything. But so long as you go in with respect and good intentions, usually you're fine. Do some prefer to remain private? They do. Yeah. What am I doing? I am practicing Reiki, where I'm sending Reiki energy, Reiki healing. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Reiki and unfamiliar with me, my name is Salome. I am a Holy Fire, Karuna, and Animal Reiki master teacher. So Reiki is energy healing. Everything around us is made of energy. Our bodies are energy. Your house is energy. Everything vibrates at a frequency. That's what matter is. Matter is literally atoms vibrating together. Everything is made of energy. And so what Reiki healing is it is the sending of a healing energy to help balance your auric field, help balance your thoughts, your emotions. Everything works together. And so it helps release blockages that you might have. If you've stored emotions over a long period of time, that can have a physical impact on you. There's a lot of different ways that Reiki works. But that's basically the shorthand of it. It's an energy healing modality that allows stuck and stagnant energy to be transmuted so that your energy can flow more naturally and so that you can continue on with your healing. They love little trinkets. Yeah, they also like hiding things. The Fae really like taking things out of plain sight and making you look for them for hours and then putting them back exactly in the first spot that you looked. Does it cure cancer? It is a beautiful complement. I'm never going to say that it cures anything because I think we have to be very careful. Can Reiki provide healing that helps with healing from cancer? Yes. Yes, it can. However, you know, it's not a be-all, end-all thing. Modern medicine is still very, very important. And so Reiki is a beautiful complement to that, to work in conjunction with that, to provide extra support. But, you know, I'm never going to say that it will be a cure for it, right? It's very helpful. Some people have had miraculous results. But I think to say that it does, you know, especially each and every time, is a very dangerous statement. Do the Fae make socks disappear? They probably do. What is the simple answer to skeptics and those who say it's anti-God Bible? Well, first of all, it depends on what your definition of God is, right? You know, if you believe that God is this separate entity that rules everything, yeah, and I love that question, right? It really depends on your perspective and your understanding of what God means, right? Reiki, if we're going to say, hypothetically speaking, right, for those people who believe in, you know, kind of a divine master, if God is the creator of everything, so to speak, right, then he would be the creator of energy. And if he is the creator of energy, if you're channeling an energy from God, how could it be harmful? Right? It's definitely a challenging one to answer because it really depends on what the beliefs are of the person that you're speaking with. Because some people are a lot less open to alternative readings of what that might mean than others. You can be Christian and practice Reiki. I practice Holy Fire Reiki. And while it isn't associated with religion, it works with the energy of the Holy Fire, which is very much the energy, like a Christ consciousness energy, that unconditional love energy. For me, God is love. My definition of God is love, is the energy of love and the energy of creation. And so if that's the case, you know, Reiki energy for me is really spreading that energy of God to people. We are all a part of God in that sense, right? In the sense of God being an unconditional love energy, source, creator, consciousness, whatever you want to define God as for you. I truly believe that we are a part and we are at one the universe, right? We are part of the universe and we are the universe itself, the universe being creation or God itself for me. Holy Fire and the Violet Flame are two different energies. The Violet Flame is most common with Usui Reiki, and it is a transmuting energy. Holy Fire is slightly different. So it is not the Violet Flame, it's different frequency. But yeah, for those people who think that, or are kind of concerned about maybe risks associated with energy healing or Reiki, you know, Reiki is always channeled from, you know, the intention of good. It is a high vibration, high consciousness, high love energy. And so it is not an energy of harm. There isn't really a risk associated with it. You can't have too much Reiki, right? It's just an energy that's flowing through you. And you only receive what it is that you need, right? It's divinely guided in that way. You know, you only get what you need. Good night. Transmutation is a process. So transmutation is this, yeah, as I understand it anyways. When you transmute something, energies that kind of vibrate lower, energies that are stuck, maybe, you know, people who have attachments and that kind of thing. From how I understand the concept of transmutation, it's using the energy of light, using the energy of Source, God, Creator, to basically shift that frequency into a frequency of light, to allow it to be released and shifted over. Energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, but it can be shifted, it can be changed, and it can be moved. And that's how I understand kind of the transmutation of lower frequencies or blockages and all that kind of stuff, is it's taking it and it is transforming it into light so that it can be dispelled. Hi, Liz. Yeah, Sue, absolutely. Yeshua was an incredible, incredible character, incredible energy. You know, he comes in once in a while when I do my healings. He's just a really beautiful, playful, kind energy. Just absolutely beautiful. Because he's just pure love. It's just unconditional love and compassion. And he's also kind of goofy. For those who've like actually connected, I call him J Sauce sometimes. J Sauce. He likes to crack dad jokes, and he's a really great energy. And my Chinese, no. Not why. Wild to take. I've never been asked that before. I sit like them. I'm sitting on a rocking chair. Do you know what star system or constellation I identify with? Oh. Yeah, I identify with Lyra. The constellation of Lyra. I have a deep connection with the Lyrans. Mm. No, I am not. Big cat energy. Cat like. Well, that's what they say. It's funny. I've asked a lot of people. I always thought that I like embodied like golden retriever energy, but everyone that I talk to is like, no, you're a cat. I'm like, okay. Yeah, Lyra, the lyre. I'm a musician as well, so it's very fitting. And I do connect with Lyra in a very, very deep way. The Lyrans from the research and kind of like inner work that I've done myself are also deeply connected with the Elven. When they started incarnating on the earth, thousands and thousands of years ago, they incarnated as these elven beings. Jeff, I don't speak Mandarin, and I don't read Mandarin either. I can say Gong Hei Fat Choi. Happy New Year. Feline type, yeah. Yeah, the feline type. And I mean, there was also the avian type, right? Lyrans. There was kind of two versions. But yeah, I get a lot of people saying that I'm like a cat, so maybe it's because I'm weird. The Greys are the Nordic-looking aliens. I don't know enough. I don't really know anything about them, Jeff. So you're gonna have to send me a bunch of info about that. I love cats too. Cats are funny. Yeah, and I mean, if with Lyra, it's such a tragic story. Where there was the whole reptilian whole war that happened and just completely obliterated it. So they went and connected with a bunch of different races, the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, and yeah, cats are incredibly healing. My little kitty is a little Reiki cat. She loves Reiki. Yeah. And so because of that, right, so many of us, we can draw back if we do the inner work, right, to multiple different constellations sometimes. You see cats in other dimensions. Yeah, that makes sense to me though. Cats are pretty powerful. Look at the Egyptians, right? How important felines were in Egyptian culture and myth, and um, you know, there's a lot there. And there's the Hathors as well, connecting to flight. Um, there's a lot in Egypt as well. Yeah. Oh, my cat has definitely seen things that I haven't seen, and I'm like, what are you staring at? It's very weird. But I find this kind of conversation fascinating though, because there's just so much to it. And we have to be careful, right? We have to use our discernment, because it's very easy to hear information from one person who seems like they know their stuff and just kind of like blindly repeat what people say. So, anything that I say in this live, absolutely take it with a grain of salt, right? This is just my understanding, and I'm not in any means an expert. So if this is something that interests you, I encourage you to, cross-reference and do the research about it, and see what resonates with you, right? You will know for yourself what feels right and what doesn't. You know, and so I really want to emphasize very strongly, just because you see me on this platform doing a live, practicing Reiki, doing all of these things, doesn't mean in any way that I am a master necessarily of everything that is being discussed, right? I have interests, I have curiosities, but we're always learning. Nobody has all of the answers. And so it's really important. It's really, really important to not just take everything at face value. You know, if it sounds right, if it feels right for you, fantastic, and follow that and see if there's more information that you can find somewhere else. Get second opinions, right? It's really important for you to be critical in the information that you receive and be critical in the information that you give back. Especially with this type of topic, right? Especially with this type of topic where a lot of it is very hard to validate in a tangible way. I know what is true for me because of the inner experiences that I've had, because of the energy work that I've done and the meditations that I've done with myself, because of the experiences that I've had of people telling me stories and what has resonated and what has not. And that is the story that I know for myself. But you have to remember ultimately that your story is your story and that your truth is your truth. And what may be a truth for me may not necessarily be a truth for you. You know, we don't have all of the answers. And it's really important for you to remember that we don't have all of the answers. And if you ever have someone who comes across your path and tells you that they have all of the answers, I would definitely be a little skeptical. Because it's not really, I would just take more time with it. Salome's little tidbit of the day. Oh, I need to drink water. I haven't had any water. Hydrate. But yeah, Jeff, if you're still here, if you could send me information about those Nordic aliens, would really love to hear about it. The more you know. Pardon me. I believe in mermaids. I believe in all of those beings, and I'll tell you why. I think it's very hard to discredit and discount the existence of these mythical, quote unquote, mythical beings. Particularly when you have these stories of these mythical beings coming from so many different cultures, many of whom may have never had any contact with each other to be able to exchange those stories. I think it's really important to give value to the presence and the existence of these quote unquote myths. It's not, you have it in, Indian culture and Pacific culture and East Asian cultures and European cultures and, North American, Latin American cultures, Native American cultures. you know, the stories of dragons and the stories of fairies and the stories of all of these different types of beings. We have to give credit where credit is due. It is it would be incredibly shocking to me for all of these vast, very, very different cultures, particularly the ones that have never had contact with each other, especially way back, you know, if we're going back enough, you know, hundreds, thousands of years, where these stories existed at the time as well. Greek culture, they have to come from somewhere. And so to say that it's all make believe, it's like, well, you have to, it's kind of weird if you're having these same types of myths and legends in multiple places around the world that were isolated from each other. All of these things, you know, we have to remember that we grew up in a society where, if you look at kids, children have so much perspective. And children all over the world, if you take the time to observe a child and listen to a child, you know, we speak of their imaginations and the fact that they see, you know, imaginary friends, and they engage with these, you know, mythical creatures that they're kind of playing make-believe. Why is it that all of these children see these things, though? Right? We are trained from a very young age to start forgetting those things that we see. We are trained to ignore that it is what we see, because as adults, we're not comfortable with the fact that we don't see these things. We don't see these things because we've been trained from a young age to ignore them. And so it's not that these things don't exist, it's that these things are not present to us because we don't know how to see them anymore. We don't know how to see them anymore because we have shut ourselves off so deeply from our energetic sight. We have our five senses. We also have the ability to perceive things that are not necessarily physical. It's very subtle. It's a noticing that is very subtle. And as you allow yourself to kind of wash away all of the layers that you have been programmed into developing as you've grown up, you start being able to notice those subtle things again. And you realize that the things that children see are not so make-believe after all. That there's a lot of value and there's a lot of magic in what it is that they see. So, you know, it's one of those things, right, where we're so attached and we're so dependent on, you know, the ability to physically analyze and quantify that which we experience around us to show that it's real, that we miss out on a very large portion of what it is to live. And we miss out on a very large portion of the magic of the world because there's so much going on around us that is so subtle that we just don't allow ourselves to see. How many people do you talk to who have the wildest experiences and they say, oh, that's a coincidence? Oh, that thing that was super freaky. Well, that was just a coincidence. Language. We were talking about language, you know, earlier. And is it coincidence or is it synchronicity? Is it coincidence or is it present? And, you know, it's what word are you going to choose? Because the word that you choose is going to be the word that describes your experience and the word that describes your existence. So when we finally allow ourselves to kind of embrace the bigger aspects of the world, we are a lot more free. Right? We're not tethered to the expectations of others. We're not tethered to the understanding and the definition of being that others hold, that society holds. You're free to just live. The lives stop. Shouldn't have. I'm still here. And I don't think it's, Daniel, it's imagination is better and larger than knowledge. Creativity surpasses information. I don't think we need to see it as one thing is better than the other. Where we fall into a bit of a problem is when we separate the two and we kind of put them on, their respective pedestals instead of understanding that they work intimately with each other, that they are aspects of co-creation. Knowledge and imagination work together in a very beautiful way and are very powerful when they work together. Creativity doesn't surpass information. Information informs creativity and vice versa. There isn't one that is better than the other. And that's the problem, right? Is we have this obsession with having to put things into boxes and categories and separating everything. And what that does is it is very alienating and it's very isolating. And we end up losing actually the bigger picture, because in reality, everything is in this symbiotic relationship. Everything is working together. We just being present in each other's energy are affecting each other. We may not be consciously aware of it, but everything is informing everything else. And so we have to recognize that, putting things in a hierarchy like that is not really serving us. It's a reflection of a control system that we have, right? The reason why we have hierarchies is because we want to have something in control of other things. Creating the illusion of difference, creating the illusion of separation is used to be able to have dominion of one thing by another. And that's why, I have so much respect for Native American culture, for example, because the way that they organize just their, not all of them, right? Because they do still have like a chief and they have different roles within their society. But all in all, there's this big emphasis on the balance and the communication and cooperation with each other and with nature, right? There is an exchange. Hi, Nala. They're just different. Wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is, I feel wisdom is more like more innate and based on experience, whereas knowledge is kind of an accumulation of information that you've gained over time. They're very, very similar, albeit. Hello from Canada. Hello from Canada back. Right? Wisdom for me feels more related to experience, where knowledge to me is more related to information. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Native American culture. I need to be better at learning more about the different cultures that are local to me. We have the Squamish, we have the Coast Salish peoples, the Haida on the coast of BC. Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. And there's a respect. There's an understanding of the respect of harmony. Why? Yeah, wisdom can be given to you from God, from yourself, right? I truly believe that we are a part of what God is. So you're connecting to yourself, right? Connecting to spirit, connecting to the universe, connecting to all of these things. That divine wisdom that you have is truly actually just connecting to your own wisdom, is connecting to yourself. I agree with you, Sue. Why learn about First Nations people? No, it's not to seem smart. It's to have a respect for the wisdom of their culture and find out what it's all about. And, I think there's so much value and so many things that we can learn and that we can emulate from the way that they perceive life. It has nothing to do with ego. It has to do with learning about a peoples that I'm not completely familiar with, but that lives in the area that I live, and that has a lot of value to give to the world. It's a respect, right? Like my interior. Collective consciousness. We're not that different. We like to believe that we are. And again, right, that idea of separateness and of alienation is what causes a lot of conflict, because we're told that we're different. We're told that we're different, and therefore it's easier to persecute other people because they're not the same as us. And, that all comes from ignorance. Conflict comes from ignorance, from not understanding and not wanting to understand, from not wanting to listen, from a refusal to see other people and hear other people and really allow yourself the opportunity to have a different perspective on life, right? That's where conflict lies. Because the moment as you see someone as other, it's a lot easier to persecute or feel persecuted. So, allowing ourselves to open our perspectives and broaden our awareness is powerful, because it allows us to connect to more humans on a deeper level, in a deeper way. And it allows us to be empathic. Yeah, I love that. We're experiencing the universe experiencing itself, and we're the proof of that, absolutely. I also just find the culture fascinating. I love the stories, I love the view. There's something really magical about the perspective that they hold. Hi, Richie. It's easier to be positive with the things we like, but difficult to accept the things we dislike. Yes, evidently. I would like to challenge that comment. It only works if you suppress your negative thoughts, as those will ruin your path. Suppressing anything is not going to help. If you suppress something, it's still within your field. it is important. You don't want to suppress your negative thoughts, in my opinion. This is my opinion. It's important to acknowledge those thoughts, to critically look at them, and to allow yourself to shift them. If you suppress all of these negative thoughts, they're still going to be within you. They're still going to be present there. They need to be acknowledged and they need to be released. They need to be transformed or transmuted, right? We don't ever want to suppress anything. Suppression of energy is what leads to disharmony, and it leads to imbalance. Yeah. Absolutely. It's really important to feel all of those emotions, right, Daniel? It's really important us to feel sad and to feel anger and to feel, you know, to feel the whole spectrum of emotions. They are energies that are meant to be experienced. They're energies that are meant to be felt, and they're meant to be expressed. Where we fall into trouble is when we feel like we have to suppress them. Again, when you suppress anything, what that means is you are pushing it down so that you can ignore it. It is an energy that still ends up acting within your subconscious and within your body because it's not being expressed and it's not being acknowledged. And so it continues doing its thing in a very subtle way, causing dis-ease, right? Disease is dis-ease. It's being in the state of not being easy, not being in ease, not being in flow. So these emotions, emotions, there isn't, this kind of good or bad rhetoric that we have as humans is not helpful. Emotions are emotions. They are not, there's no qualifier to them. We have emotions of anger as a response to a certain experience. We have emotions of sadness as an expression and a response to a certain experience. And they're there to be felt and to be released so that you can carry on, right? And I want to kind of I also try to stay away from the concept of positive energy and negative energy. Because again, that's very much a human construct, right? Of trying to create a qualifier. There is higher vibration energy and there's lower vibration energy. It doesn't have to be a positive, negative, good or bad thing. That is a very human way of categorizing it, right? Again, we're getting back into that categorization. We have high vibration, high frequency energy, and we have lower vibration, low frequency energy. Ideally, we would like to stay in the higher frequency energy. But, we don't have to get into the whole linguistics of positive, negative, good, and bad, right? Energy is energy. Yeah, I think it's really important to try to stray away from duality as much as we can. Sun and moon. Nothing would exist if it didn't have a shadow. Everything, shadow adds dimension, right? We wouldn't have dimensionality if we didn't have light and dark. So there isn't, you can't label one thing as good and bad because they need each other to exist. They need each other to be present and to be experienced. And ultimately, as human beings on this planet, spiritual beings having a human experience, that's why we're here. We're here to have a human experience. We are meant to go through trials and tribulations and heartbreak and joy and love and loss and all of these different things. That is what it is to be human, is to have this experience of the world that has such a broad spectrum of color and shades and dimension, right? You wouldn't understand the value of joy if you didn't understand what sorrow was. You wouldn't truly understand what being joyous was if you've never experienced sorrow. You wouldn't have an appreciation for the beautiful things in life if you haven't seen the antithesis of them. Right? They're all important. Bonne nuit. Absolutely, OS. You know, and that's why it's really important when you're looking back on the experiences that you've had in life, perhaps experiences that you associate with heavier feelings. Remember that you wouldn't be who you are today, and you wouldn't have the perspective that you have today if you never experienced those things. You wouldn't have the wisdom that you have today if you didn't experience those things. And it allows you to have an appreciation for the finer things in life, for the beautiful things in life, right? Hello. Depends on where you look. Right? You have to remember that, especially if you're kind of tuned into social media or media in general, there is this tendency to glorify and to push and you know, make viral those things that are heavy and dark. So there's this illusion that there isn't light in the world, or there isn't very much light in the world. And so it's important to pay attention to what you're looking at. And I'm not saying that there isn't, because there are certainly very dark things happening in our world. And it's important to acknowledge that, right? To acknowledge those experiences and then that presence. However, it's just a reminder that, you know, just because that's all that people kind of push around doesn't mean that that's a true reflection of what actually is. And a lot of times these media outlets, they push the negative to promote fear, to promote this illusion that there isn't light in the world, right? So it's not ignoring that darkness exists, it does. But it's also to be discerning in the actual balance of things, right? Where are you getting all of your imagery? What are the things that you pay attention to? Because if it's going to be the news, if it's going to be media, you know, they show you the things that will elicit the biggest response and reaction. And unfortunately, good news doesn't sell as much as bad news sells, if we're going to use the terms of good and bad for a moment. Right? And so in the name of economics, right, in this whole kind of weird hierarchical world that we have, in this world of capitalism that we have, we're fed the images that provide the strongest reaction in people. So be discerning of that. Remind yourself of that. That, you know, just because that's all that's being shown doesn't mean that's an actual true reflection of reality. And we have to remember as well, you know, unpopular take, there's a lot of beauty in darkness. There is this tendency for us, and of course it depends on the type of darkness that we talk about. However, there is a lot of beauty in darkness that we tend to forget, or we tend to ignore. We tend to shy away from. And there's this tendency for us to try to eliminate darkness, right? There's this fight to eliminate darkness. We all possess a balance of light and dark. And there's a lot of beauty in embracing the darker aspects of ourselves, right? You know, those emotions and feelings and expressions of self that have been vilified for forever. And they're vilified because, again, it's a control thing. It's so that people can be malleable and people can be controlled by others. We have to realize that there are little golden nuggets within the darkness. I had this beautiful experience a couple of years ago, and I've gone through many a dark night of the soul. Many, many, many of them. And I had this meditation one night, and I was in the pits of it, and I ended up taking a journey into the dark. It was a dark landscape. It's very hard to see. And there were these pebbles. And there are these pebbles that, or these rocks that are found mostly around the Great Lakes in Canada, that are bioluminescent, bioluminescent rocks. So these rocks, they actually glow, and you can only really find them because of the fact that they glow in the dark. They glow in the night. And so it was really this beautiful metaphor when I kind of discovered about these rocks that you can only find them in the darkness. There are a lot of treasures that we can find within ourselves that are hidden in those dark places, those places that we shy away from, you know, where we hold our shame and our guilt and all of these uncomfortable feelings and all of these uncomfortable experiences that we've pushed away for a very, very long time. There's a lot of beauty in there, and it requires us to take a moment to sit within it and to look at it and to really perceive what's in there. Because these rocks, they lit the way. And there's always a path out, right? So remember that. There's always things that we can learn. There's always little treasures that we can find. The silver lining, the golden aura. My music stopped again. Yeah, of course. Of course, soon. Like I said, right, there's levels and magnitudes of it, right? Para todo sale el sol. I probably won't be able to be on. Oh my gosh, it's already 10:45. Where did the time go? What time did I start? 9:30, 10:30. Oh, I've been on for a while. It was really beautiful. It was really beautiful because I had that meditation, or I was just doing a silent meditation by myself and just went on my own mind journey. And then the next day, these rocks kind of came up on in some other area. I didn't know that they existed until then. And it was quite beautiful. I think I'm going to have to ground this energy, though. I've been on for a long time. I have not. All right, I'm going to quickly ground this energy. So, if you'd like to join me in this grounding, I encourage you to imagine a beautiful golden rain of energy sprinkling down, starting from the crown of your head. And this golden rain helps transmute and wash away all of those energies that no longer serve us, all of those things that no longer serve us, starting from the crown of our head, allowing it to trickle down past our forehead into our third eye, past our brain into our ears, behind our eyes. Now as this golden rain energy comes down, it just washes everything away, cleansing us, right? Cleansing us. Down the back of our head. Breathing as this energy comes down our neck and into our throat, under our jaw, into our throat. Clearing out our throat chakra, into our shoulders and our shoulder blades, into our clavicle and our upper chest, allowing it to wash everything away down our arms, down our spine, down our back and rib cage, down past your heart, into your lungs, through your torso, washing everything away, allowing us to be relaxed as we breathe, And visualizing this beautiful golden rain washing away down further past our solar plexus, in between our ribs, down our sides, down our middle back, into our stomach area, down into our internal organs and our pelvis, down our lower back, into our lumbar spine, into our pelvis, into our hips, down our coccyx, into our legs, up into our thighs and our buttocks, allowing this beautiful rain to wash everything away, down our quadriceps, down our thighs, into our knees, trickling down, carrying with it all those things that no longer serve you, through our knees, into our shins and calves, coming down further, washing everything away through our ankles, the tops of our feet, our heels, our toes, the soles of our feet, and allowing this beautiful rain to wash everything out the soles of our feet into the earth, and letting it just go out, trickle away into the earth. Feeling beautiful roots coming out the base of your feet as this beautiful golden rain is just washing everything away, cleansing your aura. Kriya, kriya, kriya. And sitting here for a moment, paying attention to how your body feels, paying attention to your breathing, breathing in and slowly breathing out, feeling our bodies feel heavy. Again, breathing in, feeling that oxygen filling up our body, and breathing out. And one more time, breathing in through your nose. And with a sigh, breathing out. I'm sealing the energy with the holy fire. Chokure, chokure, chokure. Thanking the Reiki energy for this beautiful healing that took place today and all other supporting energies that came through. I'm releasing myself from the connection, calling back all of my energy, sending it up to Source to be transmuted in love and light and sent back to me. And I release all of your energy with love, sending it up to Source to be transmuted in love and light and sent back to you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this beautiful Reiki Live. This was a really beautiful live today. Lots of really fantastic conversation. I'm very grateful. I haven't been on for a very long time, and it was such a beautiful evening. You all were so wonderful. If you'd ever like to book a personal session with me, I do practice. So my name is Salome. I'm a Holy Fire Karuna World Peace Reiki Master Teacher, as well as an Animal Reiki Practitioner and Master. I do offer personal sessions, so if you'd like to book an energy session with me, there's a link in my link tree to do so. I will be posting this live replay to my YouTube channel as well. So if you're ever looking for a Reiki pick-me-up when I'm not around, I do post all of my live replays to YouTube. So I'm Reiki with Salome on YouTube. There's a link to my YouTube channel in my link tree as well that you can subscribe to if you'd like. We have a beautiful self-care membership as well that I am a runner of with two other really amazing healers, Deb Merced as well as Juliana Whitlow, or the Death Priestess on TikTok. And it's a monthly subscription where we offer monthly energy healings, as well as a private Facebook group where we have a monthly hour-long chit-chat between the three of us on a certain topic. We have weekly energy forecasts, which I'm going to be doing after this live is done. I'm going to be doing the weekly energy forecast. And a lot of really amazing things. So it's $44 a month, but you have access to all of our events. Our events are usually $33 each, which you're very welcome to sign up for if you just like to attend a singular event. But you do have access to all of these healing events that we offer and coaching for $44, which is really an incredible value. I just finished I've been doing a chakra healing series. So it's been a guided meditation with Reiki light language once a month for each chakra. So we've done the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, and I just had my throat chakra event just on Sunday, and it was a really amazing experience. And I never really know what to expect when I lead them, and they always end up going in a direction that I would have never fathomed, and they're just so powerful. And so you would have, if you were part of CMBS, or Clear Mind Body Soul is what our group is called, you'd be able to attend that for free as well as all of the other events that we're leading. We also have an event happening this weekend on Sunday. It is our grief event. We do it once a year, and it's for those of you who are dealing with grief and loss, whether it be of a loved one, whether it be of a situation, right? We experience grief in a lot of ways. So once a month, we have all three of us healers that are offering energy healing and blockage removal and activations. And on Sunday, it's going to be our annual grief event. So that's definitely something to look out for if it sparks you. I'm pretty sure it's actually free. So that's definitely something to pay attention to for those of you who are dealing with a lot of grief and are looking for some extra support. It'll be a very beautiful event. It always is. And we also have the Thin Line on Facebook if you're just looking for a community. There's a Facebook group called the Thin Line where, lots of people are just sharing their gifts and their support and their community. For those of us on a spiritual journey where we might feel very alienated, it can feel very lonely when we don't feel understood and when we don't feel like we have a network of people that really understand our experiences and can resonate with our experiences. And so it's been a really beautiful place for many people to find like-minded individuals where they don't feel judged, where they feel they can share their gifts and etc. When is the grief event? The grief event is happening this Sunday. It will be at 10 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. And that means it would be 10 PST, which would be 12 Central Standard Time or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will be adding links to my link tree. So keep your eyes on my link tree if you're looking for the links to our events. I will be updating that tonight. And you're always welcome to send me an email. You can send me an email at reikiwithsalome@gmail.com. My email address is also in my bio, so you're welcome to send me a message about any questions that you have. If you're looking for support in anything, I do my best to answer them as fast as I can. So please reach out to me if you have questions. I do teach Reiki as well. I don't know when my next class is going to be, but if you're interested in learning how to practice Reiki level 1 and 2, please send me an email and let me know what your interest is, or if you have any questions, and we can kind of see when would be a good time to, when a good date would be for me to organize a new class. Am I doing certification courses for Holy Fire Reiki? I was going to have one at the end of February. No one signed up. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I will be doing my next class. But send me an email. Yeah, David here was one of my first students, and he's a very intuitive, empathic healer. So I have to look at dates. Probably not in March. My March is pretty booked up, but we may be looking at perhaps April or May. So I will get that figured out. I teach level 1 and 2 in a 2-day format. So it's 2 8-hour-long days usually. It's pretty intensive, but it's very beautiful. It's not as bad as it sounds. There's a lot of information, but there's also a lot of healings that take place. So the format of a Reiki class, it's usually from 9 in the morning till 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's done over Zoom. And, we learn about the history of Reiki. We learn about the symbols and energy hygiene and how Reiki works and different methods and practices. But there's also a lot of healing experiences. So there are moments where I'm sending Reiki energy to help clear you, and then you have your activations so that you're able to channel the Reiki for yourself. And then on day 2, you receive your placement so that you can send Reiki to other people. Could you set up a payment plan? Yeah, we could definitely organize that if we need to. Absolutely. We can definitely organize that, Sarah. But I need to figure out a date first. So send me an email. And that way we'll be able to figure, can it be used on animals? It can. It can be used on animals. At the end of the day, you would need to get the consent of the animal regardless, or, they still love Reiki energy. I practice animal Reiki as well. It's a different energy. It works with the tree of life. And that is, a frequency of energy that animals are more inclined to. But, if the animal wants to receive the Reiki, the animal will receive the Reiki. You absolutely can send Holy Fire Reiki to an animal. Absolutely. Absolutely. So they just need to be open to it. And one thing you will learn with animals, right, is animals are very perceptive, and animals are very picky when it comes to energy, usually. So if you have stuff going on, they might actually prefer not to receive the Reiki energy. They're not necessarily open to it all the time. Some of them just love it and just suck as much of it up as they possibly can. And some of them are like, you've got your own stuff to deal with. I think I'm okay. So just be aware of that. If you try to send Reiki to an animal, it's very good, important to check in with them. They make me laugh. Animals are great. But yeah. I mean, Yeah, so they're just different, energy signatures, right? I practice a few different types of Reiki. There are so many different styles of Reiki that embody the energy of different symbols. Ultimately, they will all have a healing propensity. Animal Reiki is catered to animals in the way that it works with the divine animal kingdom and the tree of life, which are more earthbound energies. They're more earthy energies. And it resonates with animals in a particular way. It's not to say that one is better than the other. However, that energy in particular, that of the tree of life and the divine animal kingdom, are more familiar for animals, and are kind of like a frequency that animals generally resonate with, maybe a little bit more, but not necessarily, right? Ultimately, beings are beings. Every being is different. So, it really depends on what it is that you are trying to do. But to be able to take animal Reiki, I'm pretty sure you need to have a prior type of Reiki, I think, before you do. I don't teach animal Reiki yet because I'm very new to it. Animal Reiki, I just got my master's back in November. So it's not something I would be teaching because I want to get more experience working with animals before I teach the class. Hi, Dawn. No worries, James. You want to be an animal Reiki practitioner? Sarah, what you could do, I think my teacher might be teaching animal Reiki. I saw her advertising on Instagram, her more recent class. I have a feeling you need to have a master's in a different type of Reiki to take animal Reiki, but send me an email. Send me an email and I'll look into it for you, and I can send you some information, because it could be that you could take it with Willow, because Willow is who taught me, and she's a really incredible Reiki master. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul, has so much experience, and is just a really, really loving, stunning human. She's just quite incredible. So send me an email and I'll figure. Her name is Willow. Rose Willow Reiki is her Reiki practice. So I can send you that information if you want to do animal Reiki specifically. And kind of figure out for you, if that's something that's possible to do sooner than later or not. Yeah, that's a sign. Don't discount that, Sarah. Don't discount that. That's a sign to me. So, yeah, send me an email and I'll look into it for you and shoot you an email back. So, it is a sure sign. All right, my loves, my love bugs. I need to go to bed because I have work tomorrow. So I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for joining my live tonight and spreading so much positivity. It's been an absolute joy. I missed coming on and sending Reiki and engaging with you all. So I'm going to try to not make it so long for the next time that I go live. Oh, schedules depending, energy depending. So I'm sending you so much love and light. I wish you all a beautiful evening or a beautiful day wherever it is that you are in the world. And I will see you in the next live. Bye.